I have a very special guest with me here today as we discuss whether or not Dee Mwango has found true love or if it's just another recipe for disaster.
which sucks. On the flip side, I wanted to tell you guys, give you more updates about my life, my daily life, what I do, how I interact with friends, and how I spend most of my time. I have been struggling with taking care of my hair. Share is making friends who are like really quality friends. It gets so hard, and especially finding friends that you like the same things that you do. It's so hard, especially for me, like coming from a different culture, and also at the same time, being more into fitness, loving everything to do with healthy lifestyle, not drinking, and yeah, it gets so hard. I narrow my ground to almost like 2% where like not a lot of people can fit inside. So here's a story. I went out a few months ago and I was doing it because a heartbreak that I was going through. So I was like, okay, let me just go out and have fun. I made a few friends. And these friends were calling me, especially like on Friday, Saturday night, hey, let's go have fun. And I was almost like losing myself. I came back to my mindset, like, this is not my lifestyle. This is
So
not what I do.
now, in this desire for this relationship, apparently it seems more that he's the one who likes the girl more than the girl likes him, right? And he just wants to show off the girl, but the girl is not willing to be on camera. So it seems to be a Becky, okay? Okay. So nonetheless, hey, Dee has had her Brad's. So I mean, the two of them would make a great match in that. They both had experience with Becky and Brad. But anyway, forget about that. Brad, remember Ponte, Mikeli Ponte, FYI. Okay. But to continue, so it gives us hope that he is available. Is it that he's getting a third wife? Because we know that in Kenya they do practice polygamy. Iammarwa preached it to us for us to know that this is practiced. Now Ivan Tor is in Senegal, and in Senegal he tried to approach this girl who was willing to be the nth wife of a man, up to most the fourth wife, because she is Muslim, and in the Muslim religion they practice polygamy up to 4 wives. Okay, at least in Senegal. I don't know if they have more elsewhere. Osama bin Laden, he had 4 wives. So, with that religion in the Middle Eastern area, so they have up to 4 wives at about. So, he may have entered the United States in that kind of polygamous atmosphere that he never really wants to share. So it's very private for him. So he does not want to share it. So we don't know. But when it comes to our girl Dee Mwango, whom we've been reacting on her attitude and everything, what does that mean for her? Well, number one, this is not a new culture for her. She knows it. Her brother wants to practice it. I don't know how much Rocio will tolerate it in the long run when he gets tired of her. He seems to be getting tired of her. He's very bored. That's why Rocio brought him to see horses and to ride some, okay? Because Iammarwa wants out of this relationship, because we already know the kind of person Iammarwa is. The situation that Iammarwa is in right now is not Iammarwa. Iammarwa wants to show off the baby. Rocio is being very selfish with the baby, does not want to show the baby. How many times that man has put that camera on the baby and Rocio is hiding the baby? Okay, so the reason why we haven't seen the baby is not because of Iammarwa, it is because of Rocio. If it was up to Iammarwa, the baby would have been out on Facebook already, on YouTube and all of social media. But apparently, I believe that Rocio wants to use the baby for her own selfish reasons and does not want to share the baby with us. So apparently, she's sharing the baby with her Argentinian family. Everybody gets to see the baby. So that's racism right there, guys. You know how those light skinned or white women always make it, not white women, Latina women, because the white women are different. I cannot even put the white women in the same shoe. They want to show that they're better than the blacks, So one of the ways they do it is through childbearing. So then when they childbear, they make it look as if the black people want to harm their babies, So because you see those Latinas, we used to be their nannies. Okay, we used to be their nannies, or sometimes, when the black women was the one to give the birth, they were second nature, the black mothers to the white mothers, in that case of Latina. So this is what she's doing, a very racist act of keeping her baby to herself. Who cares? I mean, it's not like we're so desperate to see the baby. I mean, we thank God we see enough babies in our lifetimes, right? So anyway, this is what's happening with Iammarwa and Rocio. Rocio is harboring the baby for herself and for her Argentinian family. But get back to it. When Iammarwa gets tired of this nonsense, and he enslaved himself anyway, so I mean, who could blame him? But nonetheless, he'll probably venture to having his second, third, etc. wife, however many that they allow in his culture, whatever. Kisi, I don't know what culture he is, but however many wives that he's allowed to have. It looks like, I don't know, think there was a count for his grandfather. He had like 8 or something. So anyway, when he gets tired and he moves beyond, Deemwango would understand that if she likes this guy, apparently they're flirting with each other, they're enjoying each other's company. He says that it's another adventure. He took 2 weeks to have an adventure, or 10 days adventure. Okay, so it's another adventure. And the thing with Dee is how lightly that sometimes she takes relationships. She doesn't like it's okay. But so for her, maybe the polygamy is okay. She never voiced her opinion on what she thinks about polygamy or how jealous she is, or if she's jealous. The only person who seems to be jealous for Deemwango is Iammarwa. I don't think Deemwango is jealous for herself. So for all we know, she may be okay with a polygamous relationship. So in that case, I guess, it's as honorable as the girl that Ivan Tor had considered herself. This girl considered herself an honorable girl, but she was willing to have a husband who practiced polygamy, and she herself, she was pure virgin. She would not, because for girls in the Muslim religion, it is not acceptable. We know that Dee and Iammarwa, they are far from Muslim. Remember Miriam, it's like, Iammarwa was like, of course, he had to respect her religion. They are far from Muslim. But the idea of having more than one female spouse in a relationship, I heard in Senegal, the women live in different homes. Whereas in the Middle East, Osama bin Laden had a house in the Keys where I think all the wives were living there, because the kitchen was like so big, you realize that all the wives probably lived in that. It wasn't Osama bin Laden's house, actually. It was his brother's house. But, they had enough kitchen space for all the women to fit all the women. So he lived with all the women. Although some may decide to go home, like the first wife went back home. And the baby wife stayed with him, things like that. So it is what it is. That's the way it is. So nonetheless, I think it may be a healthy approach for her, to say, okay, she's gonna be marrying within her culture. I saw somebody, one of the keyboard reactors in Atita. His name is Dennis Atita. He introduces himself in the description as Dennis Atita. I didn't see anywhere where he verbally said it to share it with you. But anyway, somebody asked him, will he be getting married soon? Apparently, he may have been wanting to get married. And he even envisioned, so he doesn't, the way he speaks, he doesn't have kids, okay? Where he says in the video about the future of having kids. So he doesn't have kids.
Back to my routine, I feel so good about myself. I'm talking to someone who is so special. She's really nice. We are getting to know each other deeper and see if we are going to have a long-term relationship. So that's the update about my status. I'm talking to someone right now, and I will be able to introduce her, not anytime soon, because she doesn't really like videos or being on the camera. So I don't know how I will do it, but in the future I would like her to be part of the Atita Fit Farm. I find it's something that I'm thinking about in the future. It would be so hard to have kids inside the house where it's so white, and they will be tempted to write everything on the walls. So I don't know how about that. Maybe we can paint a different color inside their rooms. Yeah, there are many options.
So he doesn't have kids. So the family he claims to have in Kenya, it's a very questionable one. When he first started his channel, he was in Kenya 4 years ago. It shows you where he was in Nairobi, and he had his fitness center in Nairobi. He did say part of his traveling into the United States was for fitness purposes, But nonetheless, during COVID, he was in 2020. He was in Nairobi, Kenya, and he didn't show any family. He didn't discuss family. So his idea of having kids, it seems maybe that he doesn't have any yet. Okay, so that is another plus for Dee Mwango. Now the only question is the whole hiding of herself. If it's just because, if she's just there because it's kind of a connection that he gets to his fellow Kenyans that he hasn't had in a long time. So in the long run, that is not a relationship. So they're just playing. So the whole boyfriend situation was that he's a male and he's a friend. So therefore, he is a boyfriend. He's a boy, male, whatever. He's a friend. He's a boyfriend. So this may be a play on words. She uses puns a lot. I believe when I used to react with Dee Mwango, there was with this situation about her constant use of puns. So the idea of visiting her boyfriend was not a clickbait. It was a pun because he is a friend, and he's been missing home. He's been homesick. We can tell. Being out in the Midwest in America. You're gonna miss your culture. He did miss his chapati and particularly his ugali. Apparently, many Kenyans miss their ugali. My roommate was Kenyan, and I don't remember ugali being an issue. I mean, I used to cook. She used to hate my carrots, but she used to talk a lot about mincemeat, the ground beef. She said they don't call them ground beef; they call them mincemeat. All right, I don't remember anything about Iammarwa. I don't remember her saying that. I just remember the minced meat and the chapati. That was the one thing that my roommate used to talk a lot about. So when it came to ugali, I don't remember ever cooking our Haitian corn. Maybe that's why she never mentioned it. But she never, I mean, I would think that she would even mention ugali. And I don't remember her mentioning ugali, but this generation nowadays, it's like ugali. And I heard from Wadamaya, ugali is tasteless. That's what Wadamaya says. They don't add anything to it. It's just the corn and the water, So anyways, he missed his ugali and his chapati. So this is a few things that shows you, well, it's a good thing that they link together, to bond in their friendship. We all wish it were something more, but they're just playing with us. The fact that Dee Mwango never came out to say anything, this is what I think happened. This guy likes his Becky, and he tried to start this relationship with Becky, but it may not be easy for him because he had a heartbreak. So I don't know if he's with a second Becky. Okay, so he's happy to meet up with his fellow Kenyan, do this hangout, what we used to call them back in my college days, with his fellow Kenyan. But the idea of a relationship, he may be very clear with Dee, maybe that's not what he wants. Maybe a relationship is not what he wants, and this is why Dee, can't come out and say this is her official boyfriend, So this guy may have broken Dee's heart in the sense like, yeah, I'm so happy, to meet a fellow Kenyan, but we're not going to be boyfriend and girlfriend. And for other reasons, they may not be romantically compatible. So we don't know why, because of course they're not coming out. They're very discreet about their friendship. Okay, they're very discreet about it. So we may come to understand that this guy is not so much into Dee Mwango, even though her use of puns may have caused our curiosity, so that we learned about this guy, and he got a little boost on his YouTube channel. He's now at the point to be able to get monetized. Not enough views, of course. We know YouTube really requires a lot of views, but definitely the subscription. He got the subscription to get monetized. He went up so fast after the plays that Dee Mwango does with her audience. So this is what's going on. Sadly, the relationship might not blossom. It might not be a real relationship as romantic relationship, but it seems to possibly be a strong friendship. A stronger friendship than that of Keno's, because Keno is of a different culture, and it's really a put down to see the whole schmeal that Dee is trying to put face when it comes to Keno. And I just don't like it. I don't like it. But it seems like, unfortunately, this whole Dennis Atita thing might be heading towards the same direction when it comes to him trying to please his Becky over Dee Mwango. So this is the reality that Dee has to face. I certainly hope that she ends up having a happy new year, but the best it could be is I don't know if to say if it's best or worse, is that this guy might need to rebound from Becky. He might have had a real awakening from Becky and is trying out his Kenyan female. And Dee doesn't want to come out with it because she doesn't know what's going on, because this guy might be rebounding. So his most single he would be is on a rebound, because we know that he had a big, huge crush in aspiration for Becky. So yeah, he might be on a rebound, and we're just hoping that if it is on a rebound, that Dee obviously seems to have all of her alerts on. She's had some heartbreaks also, just like he, so that we'll see where it goes. So this is where it's at, another roller coaster, but hopefully all of these alarms are open. So if this guy wants to be friends, and I think this is why Dee never came out with him either, because if he's gonna be a friend, she doesn't want to be used. So all of this congratulations, this guy never came out to say, yeah, thank you, I'm really digging Dee. If he was digging Dee, he would have come out already, just like he came out Becky. Becky doesn't want to come out, but with Dee, she would have been out already with it. But he's not digging her in that manner. So the fact that it's been a week now since this whole thing came out, since Dee landed in Portland, Oregon, and he went on his adventure, but he never came out and said, yeah, I'm digging this girl, I really like this girl. And she never came out and said, you know what, I want to try this out. So this guy is just breaking this girl's heart. But nonetheless, she wants friendship, especially she needs connection, she needs guidance while she's here in the US. And by the way, this guy's fitness channel is addicting. I am going to start my exercise. I gotta start exercising, guys. This guy's channel is addicting. It really shows you the goodness in exercising. So at least that we got that out of it, But when it comes to our hopes for Deemwango, we're going to have tonight, this is the 31st of the last day, the last hours of 2024. So we're going to be praying for God to rebuke the devil that is keeping this girl out of relationships and causing the guys. This is like a nemesis, and I'm going to tell you what I suspect is her bad luck. Okay, why she keeps running into these guys who want to commit their hearts to other women or whatever it is. I think the problem that Dee has is her brother Iammarwa. Why? The way Iammarwa treats other Kenyan women is Dee's downfall. If Iammarwa reaches out to African Tigress and starts treating her with dignity, okay, you're gonna start seeing a difference. Because the fact that he would have called up JB and told JB, beware of this woman, and told Deemwango, beware of this woman so she doesn't steal your man from you, is just really bad lucking his sister. We don't even know if that vibe is not what caused the relationship to go sour with JB in the first place, right? The second part is Miss Trudy. Iammarwa had reached out to Miss Trudy, okay, to help his sister when his sister didn't even have a YouTube channel. And Miss Trudy went ahead and did a couple of collabs with Deemwango, but they never acknowledged that to say, you know what, Miss Trudy, thank you because you did help me. They always make it look as if Miss Trudy never even agreed to it. Miss Trudy has her personality. She may be stuck up, whatever it is that she is, but at least if she helped you do something, acknowledge it. Deemwango never acknowledged it. Okay? And the brother didn't do anything to help it. In fact, they keep calling Wodemaya old man. They keep trying to put down the the steps, the stones that they try to step on. They keep trying to put it down. So the last time that Iammarwa made a video against Wodamaya, well, when he wasn't, I'm talking at the time when he was in Brazil, he mentioned Miss Trudy. Oh, what kind of wife is that? Yes, I understand. At this point, I'm sort of upset that, you know, they've been married now for 2 or 3 years and no baby's popping out. And yet, Wodamaya's sister has a toddler already, you know, walking and making, you know, the toddler tantrums, all right, and going into the terrible twos, all right. And they married only about within less than a year of the sister getting married. So that's of concern as far as how Miss Trudy is treating Wodamaya. I'm very concerned about that, okay? But because I know if it was up to Wodamaya, he would have already had a toddler, okay, if it was up to him. So I don't know what's going on between the two of them. I'm not going to say anything more. So yes, in that aspect, I could understand when he said your so-called wife. But at the same time, he has to understand this is a fellow Kenyan woman, and he should be wishing the best for her. So these are the nemesis that Iammarwa has that I think is Dee Mwango's downfall. And I think if Iammarwa would reach out and start putting up those women, those particular YouTube women who actually made it, are successful at YouTube, okay? Fellow Kenyan women who were living in Kenya, you know, with him, you know, or with the sister, and who are successful, and he keeps trying to make it, knock them over for his sister. He needs to try to uplift those women, and as we pray for the deliverance of Deemwango. Anyway, this is my take on this new guy. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to look at it at face value for the sake of Deemwango. Thank you for watching Claudine Etienne Against Colorism. Have a great day. It appears to me that we shouldn't worry too much about, although there are some red flags, but we should not worry too much about this encounter, that Dee is stealing somebody else's man. Apparently, this guy has not been very lucky when it comes to relationships. In certain of his videos, he claimed that he had a family in the United States and a family in Kenya. So that's one red flag, because this is suggestive of polygamy here in the United States. But of course, you know, I'm talking about the Black, like Haitian community, what we think. But we realize that Dennis Atita is not in a Black community. He says that his all around him, it's mostly white people. There's only maybe once a month that he would encounter a Black person. So he is in an environment where it's particularly white. So the relationship of having a family in the U.S. is concerned, that's really going to be a white family. So there is one of the places where I'm concerned. But this is a Black guy who's crossing over. So the lady that he said that he had a crush on, or that he didn't want to put on camera, he's been talking to her. We don't know basically what she feels, okay? But apparently, just like Kino doesn't want to put his girl on camera, this guy says that he wants to.
Are you not married?
No, I'm not married.
You're not married yet.
But I'm not single. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Good.
It's
the right answer, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not married and he's not single.
Yes.
You give your wife a shout out, your girlfriend a shout out.
Yeah, big up yourself. You know yourself. If you're watching.
Why not mention her name?
You mention her name?
Yeah.
Oh, big up yourself. I don't want to mention her name. They're going to start saying your name all over YouTube.
To keep her off camera until she's ready. And he actually, it's not her. She doesn't want to be on him. It is her. It is she who does not want to be on camera, because he seems to be very excited to show her off. So I believe that he is dating a Becky. Okay. Kino might be dating a Becky too, but we never know. He keeps coming with different girls, some Beckys, some Black, so we don't know if it's a Becky or if it's not. when he told Wodamaya that he didn't want her. So this is a big thing that these two guys have in common, both Kino and Dennis Atita, is that they don't want to put their women on camera. Okay, so we're not sure basically what's going on. So because they have some women out there who nobody knows about. Okay, now the difference between Kino, who made it very clear that he's not single, and Dennis Atita is that if you watch his videos, okay, this guy appears to be very available, even though he may be practicing the polygamy that I was talking about behind scene. What kind of polygamy? He says he has a family in Kenya. So it might be just his mom, dad, brothers and sisters. That's his family in Kenya. Okay? Because we understand that in African communities, we don't see the family as a nucleic family that Americans and many Europeans see. Well, particularly Americans. I cannot speak for all Europeans. But in America, they see the family as husband, wife, and their offsprings. Okay, that's the nucleic family, the definition of it, and that's what family is for Americans. Okay, they don't understand about brothers, sisters, tios. No, that's not American culture. So, which is very sad and disgusting. But anyway, so this family he's talking about in the U.S., I've seen him with white families. They may have been like sponsoring him in his coming here. And then he said that that's his private life. So he never really told us exactly how he came here. So it had to do with acquisition of family. Because when he talked about coming here, he's like, I'm going to keep my family out of this. So he acquired family. And so how did he acquire this family? He may have married a white girl, for a green card, but hey, I respect that he doesn't want to, but I'm like, you know me, I don't really look up to that, For me, that's not the most moral thing to do, but it may be what he had done, and it may have been a business marriage, because apparently 7 months ago, which is more than a year since he has received his green card. He received his green card 2 years ago, where he made a video about receiving the green card. So we don't know again if it was through marriage arrangement, but apparently he was available 7 months ago, which is where I feel a bit relieved for Dee Mwango. She's not taking some guy who's like, I've been married and loyal to my wife for so many years. So 7 months ago, he had a heartbreak. Well, you know what that means. Breakup, heartbreak, breakup. Okay, so he was available, be it 7 months ago or 2 months ago, because not too long he was dog sitting, something very likely for a single man. Okay, so he was dog sitting, and while dog sitting Pepper, he talked about his desire for having a relationship. And Atita, let me leave the stage for you to show us.
Here, it's a very long process. I waited for almost 3 years, so I don't want to talk about it. Also, I want to keep my privacy private. This channel was all about fitness, but I decided to bring in my travel and adventure videos, because I want to introduce you guys to the fitness and the traveling videos. So I don't want to talk more about family. I know, like, once you put your family in public, what happens is it doesn't become your family anymore. It becomes part of the family to the people who are watching, and like, if they don't agree to do that, I am the one who opened this YouTube channel to do the fitness videos. So I want to leave everyone behind the camera. I have my family in Kenya, I have my family here in the US, so they're all behind the camera. So I want to leave them there, because I know a lot happens with the internet. When they are ready to join me here, for sure I will bring them. So I'm in America. It's my second week. I decided to do this video to update you guys about my living here. So I'm getting to adapt into the American lifestyle. I know it's going to take a lot of time. I was looking forward to get shocked with the American culture.
Myself drinking tea a lot, so I like chai tea, especially at Indian Palace. But I'm trying to hold myself back not to drink, to shop like to your restaurant so much. But I love chai tea. Each time I get a chance, I'm in Medford, I'm coming to your place to get my chai tea. Yeah. So the things that I miss about Kenya is I would say like friendship, where we don't care about like the time that we are going to spend together. Either like family time, friendship, where people have enough time to share live events with you, kind of talk more deep about life, and not even, because I just feel like here it's like schedule to schedule to schedule. Like right now I have people that I really adore the most in my life. They have been like so good to me, and this one for sure, I think like I will remember them the rest of my life. They have helped me a lot with navigating myself, getting my new car. They were the people who kind of helped me to find somewhere where I can take it to service it, because you know when you buy a German car here in America, it's kind of expensive to get the spare parts, because most of those cars are not like sold here. So even finding a mechanic, it's so hard. And them helping me to find someone who can service my car was really good at the cheapest price, and also coming in handy with where I can get like a nice car to buy and all that. They've been so nice. They check on me every day. I go to lunch dates with her and him every Wednesday. So like tomorrow we are talking about scheduling a time to go to one of the restaurants. They have taken me to most of the restaurants in Medford. Tomorrow we are looking to find one restaurant where we're going to eat our lunch and catch up about life, because they're always interested to know what's really happening in life and all that, which like I really appreciate the most. It's so hard to find those kind of people, which I know like life is so short, we take it too serious. I think if you have a chance to check on a friend, check on them. You never know if that was the last time you'll ever see them. So like now most of my friends that I had in Kenya, when they text me on YouTube or like on Instagram, like, hey man, I wish I spent more time with you while you were here so that we can do this and this. Now that time is gone, I'm here making new friends and trying to finding new adventures, connect myself with more diverse people. And it's so hard. So when you have an opportunity to do something, just do it. Don't think about other options. If you have time to spend with family, just spend that time with family. So I was talking about time and how we don't find time here to have like casual talks and all that, which I find like it's kind of so hard to have those kind of friends here. It's either you're meeting for a drink, meeting for lunch, but just sitting down and talking, catching up about life events, sharing stories and all that. It's more like a Kenyan thing, which like I miss the most. And yeah, like right now I'm trying to schedule a time tomorrow because my schedule is so busy. I'm trying to find a time. I just sent a message and said, hey, can you guys find time and then meet like maybe 4 or 5 p.m.? So I'm waiting to hear, because we normally meet at 12 before she goes to her appointments and all that. But I'm hoping that we're meeting tomorrow, and maybe in the future we'll be able to share a video of us together. So I like wearing my white t-shirts. So guys, don't ask me any questions if you see me with a white